Hey everyone, friend of the program, stand-up comedian Rajiv Satyal is back in his hometown doing a show. It's actually a couple shows. He'll be performing in the Tri-State this week. But first, he is here in the Local 12 studios again. Rajiv, it's great to see you.
Thank you for having me back.
I'm thrilled you're here. Let's talk about where you're going to be because they already added one show because they sold out the first one, going to Go Bananas.
That's correct. Go Bananas in Montgomery. I'm there Thursday night. That is sold out. So my publicist was like, why don't you add a second show?
Why don't you?
Let's do it. It's a Sunday night, 7:30. We have a second show at Go Bananas. Come on down.
And Go Bananas, not only has it got to be special just to kind of come home, but Go Bananas has to feel kind of special for you too, right?
It does. It's where I started doing stand-up comedy. It's the first time I ever got up on stage in a stand-up comedy club, and here we are, 20, I don't know, years later.
When you come home to do a show, you know, you do shows all over. We talk about the, all of the continents you've been on. You've been all around the country. You've done specials online. You've got blogs and things. You got all this stuff. When you come home, do you play for home or do you kind of play whatever you're doing right now? Does that make any sense?
It makes a ton of sense. And normally I do play for home, but I'm recording this as a special.
Love it.
That's the other thing that I'm going to do. I recorded it in LA in July in Hollywood. And then, when I came home, I thought, why not? Let's just do a Rain Man thing. Let's go Cincinnati to LA,
Love it.
And let's record in Cincinnati, the hometown. I was watching some old clips here and I go, I get better response here than anywhere in the world. It's your home.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to record a 4-camera shoot on Thursday and Sunday. So yeah, we're going to throw that in the mix.
It's such a weird time for people in your line of work in terms of things people seem to get in trouble for that they used to not get in trouble for before. You're pretty a clean guy when you're up on stage. Do you?
Yeah, even clarify that when I'm up on stage.
When you're up on stage, boy, I tell you what, we get him a commercial break here though, and this guy's nuts. No,
Are we cut? Okay.
But do you think about that kind of stuff at all, or because your comedy maybe doesn't lend itself to some of those things, do you not really worry about it?
I think about it. I think people get in trouble for things that you're like, whoa, that didn't seem to be controversial at all. And other people say crazy things. You're like, that guy's not getting in trouble. How come that? But then that's like when you get pulled over by a cop. You're like, what about all the other people who were speeding?
Right.
The cop goes, oh, good point. And he doesn't go get that. There was a guy, Mike Armstrong, did a great bit about that, and he said whenever he would get that from people, he'd be like, well, they're going way too fast. I can't catch them.
Love it. I love it.
I got a family at home.
Yeah. When you talk about, it's funny you mentioned other comedians. Who do you watch? Who is funny to Rajiv?
I think Bill Burr is probably the best doing it right now. I think he's so funny, so honest, so hilarious. I still think...
You talk about a guy who does not pull punches
No, he doesn't. And there's a guy, Andrew Schulz, Bill Burr, some of these guys are able to get away with it and just say whatever because that's their brand. And, I skate close. I'm PG-13. I love talking about religion, politics, whatever. But in this show, it's really my greatest hit. There's very little politics. It's mostly my life story growing up here. It's so exciting.
But since you mentioned politics, you have someone interesting in your life who you grew up with who's getting a little bit of attention in politics these days.
That's correct. Vivek Ramaswamy and I are old friends. I mean, I'm 10 years older than he is.
Okay.
So he was a ball boy when I was at the Western Southern tournament. I had been a ball boy, then I became a supervisor.
Get out of here.
So my publicist is like, so you were his boss? I'm like, yes, I was Vivek Ramaswamy's boss.
Of course I was. Of course I was.
But, I mean, our politics aren't exactly the same, but it's great. Now there's so many Indians doing well in this country, we don't all have to like each other. It used to be you have to be a Deepak Chopra disciple because he was our guy. You have to like Apu. Now it's like we don't have to. We can be on two different pages. Look, I think Indians made it in this country when Rajat Gupta went to jail for insider trading on Wall Street. People are like, what about the Surgeon General? I go, no, well, you feel comfortable enough in another country to commit white-collar crime? Your people have made it.
Do you see how I shrink up when you start talking about certain things? Do you see how nervous I get?
See, I'm trying to take all the heat away from you.
I appreciate that.
I see the jokes you crack. They're funny. I'm like, when they look at your contract, I'm like, well, he wasn't as. That was way closer to the line.
Totally closer to the line. Hey, we got to wrap up. Give me all the details. You need go see this guy because he's awesome. Give me the details again for the Sunday night show.
Thank you. Sunday night, the 17th of September. Go to seerajiv.com. SEERAJIV.com. 7:30. So go watch the Bengals at 1 o'clock and roll in. Whether we win or lose, you'll need comedy. I hope we're going to win. Who day? We're going to win.
Always great to see you.
Great to see you.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Hey there, thanks so much for visiting the Local 12 YouTube channel. Click the links, hit subscribe to get notified anytime we post content to this channel.